Okay, what I've done so far just to save time is I've actually created some buttons that I'm going to be using, and I've also put the music into a folder, okay, just to tidy things up. So I'm going to also do the same thing for these buttons, create a folder for those buttons. Alright, so that's for the first 11 buttons. That'll be down. I'm going to be, oh no, that's wrong. Let's get this music back where it should be. Okay, there they are. Okay, get the buttons in the buttons. Yeah, that's fine now. Okay, then get the music out. Need the music out. Okay, we have the music right there. Okay, buttons and buttons, music and music. Let's see. Yep, that's fine. Good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna be creating more buttons. Okay, so let's start on the other buttons. So this is the button that I created for the other part of the keyboard. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just duplicate this very button itself. So let me speed it up. Okay, this is the second button, just for you to see it properly. Let me change the background to something a little bit lighter, so you can see this is the second button here. Okay, so it should go something like this. Yep. Then now let me just sort of like fill all the space. Let's get this one now. Just like that. Okay. So that's how it's going to be. Let's bring this up. Right. Okay. Okay, now we have the first part of the buttons on board. Okay. So the second part is to actually get the, I don't know what it's called, but let's put them in there. I'm not into music, so I have no clue what this stuff are called. So I'm just gonna sort of like speed this up as well. Okay, at the end of the day, what we have is something similar to this. That's how I'm gonna rearrange things, so that it looks like a piano. Alright, so I'm gonna call this my own visual piano. But the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to actually give each instant a name. Okay, I'll go to the property where I would then allocate each of these buttons an instant name that I use in my action script. So I'm going to be speeding that up as well. But the first name will be, let me just call the first one BKL1, or maybe BUT button 1. That would be this my button 1. The instant name for this is button 1. Okay, so the second one is going to be called, the second one I'll actually give that instant name B2 button 2, button 3, and so on. So the last button I've actually called that button 11. So the next instant that I'm going to create in naming it is maybe I should just call it Kuwaiti 1 and so on, just so that I'll understand I'll know the button that I'm actually talking to. So I'll speed that up too. So let's just call this maybe QWT1. Let's get it right. QWT1. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be calling it. So I know there's the buttons on top. So I'm just going to speed this up. You know. Now they all have instant name. QAT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the bottom one, they also have a name. Okay, you can see the instant right there. Okay, so as the instant for each of them, the instant name, and the instant behavior for all is buttons. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to now define our go to timeline and start adding the codes. So what I'm going to do next is actually name each frame. Call this buttons and create the next frame. Let this frame actually be for the music. Okay, this I will be inserting my music here. Then add another frame, and that'll be for my action script. Actions. Okay, I'll make life a little bit easier for me. So let me just. So the next thing is I'll paste the first tone, which is the A, and instead of like cover from frame 1 to frame 40. Okay. So now let me just copy my buttons across so you can see the buttons. Okay. So frame 1 to frame 40. So I might as well just enter. Let me just enter F7 there, enter a code there to stop the first. Okay, stop it right there. Okay, let's add another one here. Another line of code there. Okay. Yeah, that's the first sound embedded into the system. So what I'm going to do now is I will speed up placing the sound, or sorry, the music on the frames. Okay, you all have the idea now of what to do. All you just need to do is drag the music on board. So the next one is this, press F7, and the next one I'm going to place on the timeline is the S key. Okay, you can see the S key. So you just select the S key, press F5. This is just to see how long it is. Let's see how long the S key is. So the S key is sort of like stop somewhere. Okay, stop like in frame 75, 76, 77, 78. Okay, so let's just bring it right there. So delete the rest frame. There it is, 78. So just copy the other one across. Okay, and that's it. So that's how I'm going to embed the rest of the tune onto the timeline. So I'm going to speed it up just to shorten this tutorial. Now we have all the tunes in place, so what's remaining is just to program the action timeline. Okay, all right, now what will happen is if we run the program, it will just stop right here. Okay, I will stop in one, nothing will happen. So let me show you an example of what's going to happen right now. Okay, even with all the music embedded, nothing happens. Okay, nothing is going to happen. The reason being, I actually have to import the flash dot event keyboard event for the keyboard, and I will also have to use some functions like function maybe mouse, or okay, just for the mouse to work. So what I'm going to do now is right click on frame 1 and enter my function to get a function key to work. So I'll say, let me say mouse as a function in mouse A, okay, event mouse events, that's what I intend to use those, and say void as void not to return anything, and let's say go to, let me check the frame now. I would go to, because it seems my frame, because I have stop in here, so I'm just going to make it start from frame 2. Let's see, alright, start from frame 2. Okay, let it start from frame 2. So I'll go back to my code and just ask it to go to and play frame 2. Okay, that's my first line of code, which means when I click on, what is the instant name? Let's check the instant name for this button. Excuse me. The instant name for this button is called button 1. Okay. When I click on button 1, I want you to place that in there. Button 1 dot add event listener. Add event listener, and this event listener should can be executed using an event. Okay, event. What event are we going to be using? Let's use click events, comma. What is the name of the function? That's the name of the function right there. Close this column and end it right there. Okay, so let me just test if there's any error. Let's see. Yep, you have an error. Let's see what's the error about. Let's find out what the error is about here. What is my error? What have I done wrong? Okay, so it's a semicolon. That's it. Okay, let's check again. Yeah, that's fine. Semicolon. Yeah. Close that. Sorry. Alright, let's test it now. Okay, the program is fine. So if I run this, let's just run the program and see what's going to happen. What's going on here? Get back to library, everything. Come back to classic, reset everything. Yeah, that's good. So come here, run. Let's test the movie and see what we've done so far. It. Yeah, that's good. Okay, you can see the have the A key working. Okay, I'm just going to pause it right there and enter exactly the same line of code addressing each instant button. So I'm just going to copy this. Let's copy it, copy, paste, change this to, what's the name of that? S as the S function. Okay. Now let's see the second part of the code. The second part of the code is actually, let's close this for now. Second part of the code, that's it. Right here, stop there, and it starts, and that would be 40. What does 40 actually give me music? Yeah, it gives me sound from, let's say 46. Okay, so that's what I'm just gonna do there. Come inside the code right now and ask it to start in 46 right there. 46. Okay, so that's 46. So this button will be button 2. Okay, now let's try this out again and see what we've done so far. Let's just go back, control, test in. Okay, that's good. That's brilliant. Let's start the program, get this back and reset. So what I'm going to do now that you guys understand what's going on within the code. So inside the code, what I've just done is, okay, for each button I have a function. That's for my A key. Okay, I've told the action script that A key is going to be using event, which is mouse events, which means when I click on it, go to frame 2. Okay, which button will I click on? I'll click on button 1. The button 1 will be listening for this mouse event, and that's it right here. The same thing applies to this function called mouse X, and this event will take mouse S straight to frame 46. But it's this button 2 that will be listening to this event that I'll click. So the next thing I'm just going to do is just to copy this code across and speed up this tutorial, or else it's going to take a long day. Well, so far we've entered 4 functions for 4 buttons. So let's try the 4 buttons now. Okay, go to control, 4 buttons. Let's see what we've done. For the 4 buttons, there's nothing in all these other buttons. So I'm gonna now speed it up. Let's speed it up. And so far this is what we've done. This is all the mouse event. The mouse event only works when we click on the mouse. Okay, and the location of the music for each keys is right there. Let's see. Okay, you see it right there. All I just did is just copy and paste the same code and address each position of the music using the mouse. Well, let's just try it out and see. Alright, I'm gonna just try it out and see. Now let's start. write another program or another action script so that we can use the keyboard. Okay, for us to be able to use the keyboard to play this music, we have to import a Flash event, keyboard event. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. It's been a long day, so let's just copy that and enter keyboard event. Okay, how's the keyboard event right there? So I think the key is an uppercase. Yeah, there we are. So I've imported the Flash keyboard event so that I'll be able to use the keyboard. So all I'm just going to do now is scroll right down and then address my, let me just put the comment here. Okay, that's a comment using keyboard. So first of all, I'm going to have to say stage. Event listener. Oh, what I'm using is going to be keyboard dot key, all in capital letter. I want it to activate while the key is down, comma. Let's just give it a name. Let's call it press key keyboard. That's the name of the function I'll be using. I'll close that function. I'm just now say, just copy this across, copy it for my function. Now say function press key event column capital K keyboard event. That's it. And then close it. Enter. Good there. Okay. So because instead of just typing in all the code, I'll be using switch event dot keyboard code. Okay. Keyboard code, close that and open the bracket. If you understand ASCII code, we all know that 65 stands for letter A. So let me just put that in there. 65 is the letter A. Okay, it stands for A. Yeah, that's good. And we ask it to go to play. Go to play. I think that'll be. Let's see what frame is that. Go to play. Oh, it's frame 2. Go to play frame 2. Yeah. So play frame 2. So that's using my keyboard. Go to play frame 2. And the next thing I'm gonna do is, might as well just copy this across as is. S would be 83. Let's see, S 83. 83. Okay, no, sorry, that's 83. 83. That's S. Okay. Now we need position of 83 is what? The music, okay, it's 42, 46. Just copy it across the 46 right here. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is copy it across again. Now this is S. Change the code to S. And get this. Copy across. Undo. Copy. And that's a D. D. And that's a F. And let's see the position of each of these. Their position. 83118 plus 83118. So I'm just going to check. No error so far, so let's try it out using just the keyboard. I think we have an error. There's an error. There is an error that needs looking into. So let's correct that. So the error is actually, that's supposed to be keyboard event. Alright. Oh, no, that's the wrong spelling. Okay, so let's try it out again. There shouldn't be any more problem. Let's see. Oh, good. No error. Using my keyboard. Good. Okay. We have the A working. So that's it. It's working fine. Just using the keyboard. This is the select case. The whole idea is that I can use a keyboard to play my piano. Okay. Each of the alphabet or each of the keys I'm going to be selecting on the keyboard, the ASCII code is right here. Can you see the ASCII code? It's more or less like the keys right in the middle. The A, B, A, S, T, F, and so on. Then the Q, W, E, R, T, Y, U, A, T, U is right here. Okay. So I'm going to now try it out and just be sure that there's no error. So let's try this. We check if there's any error. Yeah, that sounds a bit, that sounds better. So now let's try it out. The Q. Okay, that's using the mouse. I'm going to let go of the mouse. Then the next thing is try it using the keyboard. Yep. Same the tone. I've not actually changed the location of the music. So I want to try and get that sorted. Okay, so let's just okay, the error is fixed. So all that was missing is just I must have forgotten to put a break. Okay, that's one here missing. Need to put a break there as well. Okay, that's fine now. My breaks there. So let's check. Sometimes it's a bit confusing. Okay, done. So let's just try our music and see without the keyboard. Place the key right there. Okay, that's it. So let's try it out. Okay, still not working. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. It's working as expected. So, okay, let's just go through the code and see. My first functions here is right there. Okay, that's for the mouse event. So I may have to copy this code and put it somewhere on one of those area where you can copy it and go through it. And if whatever improvement you can make, then that would be cool. So now using a select event key code, that is it. That the key code used. So I believe you guys should be able to do something similar to this, if not better. Okay, so good luck.